Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to this very special Dainik Jagran presentation called Dainik Jagran High Tech Conversations Naya Bharat, जहाँ पे हम मिलते हैं thought leaders and CXOs के साथ in the country to know their thoughts कि कैसा होगा नया भारत post COVID-19. So without any further ado, let me introduce my guest for this वीडियो. हमारे साथ इस बार जुड़े हैं मिस्टर खालिद वानी, डायरेक्टर चैनल सेल्स इंडिया वेस्टर्न डिजिटल. How are you, Khalid?
Very well. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
All right, Khalid, जैसा कि आपको मालूम है कि नया भारत की बात होने वाली है और बात होने वाली है कि कैसे हम उभरेंगे इस ग्लोबल पैंडेमिक से. तो सबसे पहले थोड़ा सा पास्ट में चलते हैं और पूछते हैं आपसे कि कैसा इम्पैक्ट रहा है कोविड-19 का, ये पूरे लॉकडाउन का ऑन द एंटायर कंप्यूटिंग स्पेस, ऑन द एंटायर कंप्यूटिंग बिजनेस अकॉर्डिंग टू यू.
You know, it's very interesting. ये जो last 2.5 से 3 महीने रहे हैं, I think it has taught all of us a lot in our personal space, in our professional space. The impact is something that is going to stay with us for a very, very long time, and it can only make you stronger. You know, as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This is something which is definitely going to make us stronger as a country, as a nation, as a society per se. Now, looking at the impact that it has had, right? Obviously, it has had an impact on everybody's life, right? Everybody's life in every aspect has changed, and it has definitely made things a lot more difficult for people. But with those difficulties, it has also made sure that the adoption of technology per se is a lot more critical than what it used to be in the past. I mean, if you look at it from now in the current scheme of things, right, everything literally has been digitized, right? I mean, in the past, Siddhartha, we probably would have been doing this show face to face, right? I mean, we're doing this show in a virtual space. You're on the other end, and I'm probably hundreds of kilometers away from you. But we are doing it seamlessly. We have avoided a lot of contact points. And we have adopted technology to the best of its ability. And this adoption is coming in every frame of our lives, right? You look at how students are adopting technology, how businesses are adopting technology to benefit them in the long run. And with that adoption of technology, a lot of things have already changed, right? And with this adoption, a lot of things will also have to consistently change. A lot of people will have to make sure that they enhance their skill sets. For example, a lot of our partners, a lot of our channel community will have to make sure that they can continue to enhance their skill sets in order to make sure that they are readying themselves for being competitive in this new ever-changing dynamics that have been there.
फ्यूचर में आप कैसा देखते हैं, किस तरीके के बिजनेस प्लान्स अब कंपनीज डेवलप करेंगी, किस तरीके की बिजनेस स्ट्रेटजीज अपनाएंगी गोइंग अहेड एंड डीलिंग विद अ न्यू नॉर्मल व्हिच इज नाउ इन अ वे सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग टिल द टाइम वी फाइंड अ वैक्सीन.
For us as a country, India as a country, the future holds very, very bright spots for us. As far as businesses are concerned, what you would realize is that the first and the foremost things that the businesses have to understand is about the changing or the changed mindset of a consumer. The consumer thought process, the consumer mindset has changed. These 3 months have basically led to a significant shift in consumer behavior. And every business, in order to be successful, will have to make sure that they continue to understand and build that changed consumer mindset in their grand scheme of things. The route to do business is also significantly changed, has also kind of evolved, and businesses will have to make sure that they accept that as a new norm. The new norm would mean that businesses will have to look at a rejuvenated consumer communication strategy. One thing that has emerged out to be as an advantage for Western Digital as a company is that with the changed dynamics, we believe that data and content, irrespective of whether it is in the consumer space, the enterprise space, or the government space, has become super critical. You know, look at COVID-19, for example. Right? I mean, you look at how data has actually globally brought all the countries together to analyze how countries are reacting to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, analyzing that tons and tons of data to basically predict how and when they are going to peak as far as their infection rates are concerned. It's all happening because we are collecting so much of data and we're analyzing so much of data. As an industry, we're just analyzing a very minute percentage of data at this point in time. And it's got to do with a lot of things. It's not just about the pandemic, right? Look at things that could impact the globe in a larger way over the next coming couple of years, like global warming, right? Climate change, food crisis. We're only analyzing a minuscule portion of between 1 to 1.5% of data at this point in time. As a society, we'll have to continuously make sure that we analyze that data, a lot more of that data in future, to predict how things are going to impact us as a whole, as an economy. And I think that's where fundamentally Western Digital comes into play. Look at Western Digital. We are a company that builds data storage solutions from edge to core, right? I mean,
आगे बढ़ते हैं और पूछते हैं आपसे कि आपके अकॉर्डिंग क्या की challenges हैं या क्या की opportunities हैं for businesses to revive post COVID-19?
While there are businesses that will probably have a larger impact from timeline perspective, right? It might take them a little bit longer to recover than a lot more other businesses, businesses which are related. And again, these businesses will also be, the time to recover will also be based on them understanding the consumer psychology, right? I mean, you look at it this from a perspective. We all would be skeptical in terms of going out in larger crowds, maybe visiting places that we always used to frequently visit in the past. We probably would take a lot more precautions. The businesses in such would want to take a lot more precautions and communicate those precautions to their consumers. So while some of the businesses might take a little bit longer time, but there are definitely businesses which will recover a lot more faster. Their rate of recovery will be a lot more faster. Percentage of recovery will be a lot more faster than a lot of others, right? In this space, I think सबसे critical जो चीज रहेगी that would be your training and development, right? How do you, one is empower the partners to be successful in those verticals, and then how do you train your partners in order to be, fully equipped and have the skill sets that they need in order to execute in that space? One of the things that we've been doing as Western Digital is that we realized that, there are certain segments like education as a segment, right? Education as a segment has seen a lot of digitization. And I think it will continue to be there for a few more months or quarters, that we will continue to see significant growth happening in that space. You will realize that this growth of digitization in education is not only limited to large enterprises, large universities or large schools. You'll realize that small nurseries or small educational institutions are also up leveling themselves in order to address the digitization of the education sector. Training our channel partners, telling them अगर education में opportunity है, इस opportunity को execute करने के लिए आपको Western Digital से क्या चाहिए, किन चीजों पे आपको training और development की जरूरत है. So those are the opportunities that exist. As far as challenges are concerned, they're again linked to the opportunities, right? Biggest challenge, to enhance the skill sets. Skill set development is the biggest challenge that the partner community or the SMEs will have to overcome, right? And the second is going back to the first thing that I talked about when I opened the session, is understanding the consumer, the new consumer mindset.
आगे मैं आपसे यही पूछना चाहूँगा कि आपका क्या नया मैसेज है for a new भारत और a नया भारत. आप कैसे देखते हैं नए भारत इंडस्ट्री पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से ये मैसेज हो सकता है, व्यूअर्स के लिए मैसेज हो सकता है, या फिर गवर्नमेंट के लिए मैसेज हो सकता है? Khalid, over to you.
If you don't mind, Siddharth, not that I'm a very good singer. I consider myself as a bathroom singer, but I would want to express this by maybe singing a few lines from a very old song. I'm going to sing maybe a small portion of that song, which goes like naya khoon hai, nayi umange, nayi hai apni jawani, hum Hindustani. अपनी मेहनत को अपना औजार बनाए, अपने हाथों को अपना भगवान बनाए, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी. I think the opportunity for self-reliance that we have as a country, right? And I'm actually jumping on the bandwagon that has been there for the last couple of days, is about self-reliance, right? I mean, there is so much that we can do as a country. There's so much that we offer as an opportunity for ourselves. I think the biggest thing that we will have to do as a country is to continue to become self-reliant. When I look at our engineering team that is based out of Bangalore, was instrumental to create a 1 terabyte micro SD card in India. Right? It was designed, conceptualized, and made in India. I mean, there is no limit to what we can do when we continue on the path of becoming self-reliant. Naya Bharat हमारे लिए after this pandemic एक नई सोच लेके आएगा, एक नया mindset लेके आएगा. Let's encourage the people out there who bring in that new thought process. Let's provide them the support that they need in order to make a self-reliant nation. That's what I believe Naya Bharat would be all about.
Thank you so much, Khalid. And ऐसे ही ढेर सारे और thought leaders and CXOs के साथ हम बहुत जल्द वापस लौटेंगे on Jagran High Tech Conversations नया भारत series. So stay tuned. अगर ये वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो शेयर करें अपने दोस्तों के साथ. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching.